Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new stream. I fixed my tablet. Didn't work in Photoshop, but I managed to fix it. So yeah, we can finally continue with this little painting here. We uh, created this one from a thumbnail sketch that we did, I think 2 weeks ago, and yeah, I kind of like it so far. There's a lot of detailing to be done, but let's really quickly look at how we started. We just smashed two photos together with the layer settings to, I don't know, I think color dodge or something like that. And I really liked these colors and stuff like that, and I decided to use that and continue to work on this. So yeah, this is the result so far. Um, and today we're gonna try to finish the process, to finish the painting. I'll do as much of it on stream as I can, while I ramble along, because that's what I like to do. I like to ramble, so expect a lot of rambling. I'm a little bit rusty because it's been a while since I painted. No, not since I painted, but since I painted live, a live stream. So I painted yesterday, but that wasn't live. That was for myself. So yeah, it's probably gonna take a couple of minutes for me to sort of get going and sort of get used to everything again. And I don't know, that it's always something that when you haven't done something for a couple of days, you're a little bit rusty. So yeah, is there much to talk about? Not really. Just continue this. I'm gonna continue this painting, and in the meantime, ramble about stuff and try to answer some of your questions and things like that. So let's try to add a bit of highlight here and there to make it look a little bit more interesting. For some reason, I really like this little corner here. I think it's really cool. Maybe this pillar can be a little bit thicker. Top. And maybe it has another here, like that. Just to add a little bit of variation, a little bit of detail in the dark area. We probably have to work on this house a little bit more, or we definitely do. I might bring in some texture to help with that, but we'll see. We'll see. I think I want to keep this all sharp corners and no curves, all squares and straight angles, triangles, squares, things like that. And as usual, we will be bouncing back and forth over the across the entire painting. That's how I like to work. I never really stay long for a certain spot. I always quickly go to the next one. That way, keep the painting nice and uniform in terms of the detailing. sure what I want to make out of this. I think a little maybe a little bridge towards that. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna make this a little bridge towards that arch here. So the left and the right side are connected to each other. Um, we will probably will leave the end result fairly rough. So um, so I'm not gonna sit here for 8 hours and every little minor detail. Getting faster and faster at this, I think, which I feel like is a good thing, because that means that we can do more stuff and more and better stuff more stuff in the same amount of time, or better stuff in no more stuff, yeah, more stuff or better stuff in the same amount of time. Wow, hard. I really like this brush. It takes a little while to sort of get the feel. How to control it. You can really make it like this, but you can also do like this and everything in between. And I really like that. This is a lot of opportunity to sort of do a lot of various thicknesses with the same brush. So I think it helps our painting process. So it's a little bit hard to explain. Let me try to rephrase that a little bit. If you have different thicknesses of detail, for instance, you have this little beam here that's not that thick. But let's say you want something thicker down there. You can do it all in the same brush. If you work with a brush with a fixed size, you'd have to sort of constantly be aware on how thick you want your brush to be, and sometimes when you make your brush too thin, it doesn't really work that nice anymore, and then you need to worry about to increase your resolution of your painting, the size and stuff like that. And with this brush, a lot of those worries just go away, and I don't know, I really like it. These little tiny dots, I can make them with the brush, but I can make a little bit bigger ones, and it's all really really. So yeah, I think it really helps, and I think it also I think you can see it in the painting. I feel like the painting is a little is better. This painting I feel is better than anything I have made so far in terms of atmosphere, and especially the atmosphere, I guess, and not necessarily the composition. Yeah, I think I like the composition, sort of the design, but especially from a painting sort of perspective, I think it is definitely the best one that we so far. And I think a lot of it has to do with the brush that I'm using. Allows me to, I don't know, it gives me so much control. I really like it. This is annoying. Yeah, I don't care. Not that right now. I should have disabled streaming. Usually it's not really that. I really like that antivirus program, because it rarely pops up with a pop-up saying things. And I don't know about you guys, but I find it really annoying if you have these programs that constantly pop up saying, "Oh, this is wrong," or "Oh, are you sure?" Or "We fixed this, we did that." I don't care. Just do your job in the background. I don't need to know about every little thing you do or that you encountered. So yeah, let's. I decided to separate the two buildings a little bit to create a somewhat more depth to the painting. I think the depth is there, and I really like the values. I really do. This has been really my favorite painting so far. I don't know. It's just something about it that's it's really cool. I don't know why. It's just these colors, and I don't know what it is, but I'm positively surprised by it. And then, of course, there are some flaws and things that we can improve, and maybe even things that we don't think about yet. But if we were to look at this, let's say from a year from now, maybe even a little bit longer, then we might come across a couple of things and say, you know what, I could have done that better. But that's also really cool about this journey. With every little brushstroke that you put down, skill level increases just a tiny little bit. It's barely noticeable, or it is not noticeable usually. Over an entire painting, I think it's still noticeable for me, at least, the amount of sort of increase in skill that I get from creating a painting. I think it sounds a bit weird when I say it like this, but and that also shows me that I still have a long way to go. If you're, I think that's with any skill that you learn. It's a little bit like video games, like leveling. The early levels are really fast and fly by, but in the end game, the later levels, or even when you sort of reached, let's say, the maximum level, your own skill, and sometimes you can. Why am I mixing up reality with video games? It's, I don't know. It's sometimes it helps to explain stuff, but um. But the point I wanted to make is in the beginning, when you're sort of starting out, I think you see big leaps. You never sort of painted before, or even never drew anything, and you sort of wanted to learn stuff, and you learn a few basic things. An hour, your skill level is changed dramatically. But when you sort of know a lot more stuff, the skill level might still increase in an hour's time, but a lot less than when you don't have any experience at all. So yeah, but the point I was making is, since I feel like I learn every painting. And I don't know if that ever goes away. Maybe it stays there until the end of my days. I think there's always something new to learn, of course. Um, and part of it is also in trying new things. So I definitely should try new things, and I want to sort of dabble in creatures. I do a lot of landscapes and cities and stuff like that, and I think that's something I feel really comfortable with right now at this point in time. I still think I can improve a lot there, but I also want to broaden my scope a little bit. So I want to dabble into creature design, stuff like that. Um, just to um, just to do it, and it always helps being. I'm a generalist. I'm not a specialist. I don't have the patience sort of to grind out all those high levels, so to, so to say. I see something new. I see a new challenge, and I want to jump to that challenge, and I want to do that. That's who I am, and that's who I always will always be. Um, that doesn't mean that that I don't have certain things where in which I'm better at than other things. Yes, of course. But overall, I like to be good at a lot of things. Uh, I'd prefer to be good at a lot of things than to be an expert at one or two things. That's sort of my setup. That's how I'm sort of wired. Um, and sometimes that's difficult because, especially where I'm from, I think it's all over the world now. Is sort of the society is sort of um, used to experts, and everybody has his thing, and you have a lot of things. People don't seem to understand that too well, and do not always respond to that very well. I don't know. Countless of times people say you can't do everything to me. You can't do everything. You have to pick one and go for it. And they usually add the sort of the sentence. You can always change it. That's for some reason it's okay to do one thing now and another thing in 5 years. But oh, don't dare to do two things now, because you know that's not possible. Can't do two things at once. You have to focus on one thing and one thing only. And that's really what bothers me. A lot actually. I don't want to do just one thing. I want to do everything. I that's not realistic either. I can't do everything, nor do I want to. I exaggerated that a little bit. I don't want to do everything, but I want to do a lot. And I know that I can do everything at once. That's a given, because you can only sort of at a certain specific time you can only do one activity, but you can do multiple activities in sort of in parallel. Let's call it like that. And it feels like I'm sort of wired to do things parallel to each other, and the society is sort of wired to do things in serial. So you start with one thing, you finish it, and then you move to the next one. I start with a thing, I come to a quarter of it, and then I start with the next thing. And the problem is that a lot of the time I don't finish the things that I started with, and that's an issue. But if I can sort of manage that to start a thing, start another thing, and start another thing, and start another thing, and sort of work in parallel on each and every one of them, and at a certain point they will be finished. And realistically, it's probably going to take the same amount of time, maybe even shorter. Depends how fast you are with things. Everybody has a different pace. It's also what bothers me. Um, People always think in averages. So on average, it takes a human being to do something in X amount of hours. I don't care how long it takes. usually. I'll do it on my own pace, and if I take twice as long, that's okay. But usually it's the other way around. When the average is like, for instance, exams in school. Some exams you had 3 hours to complete those. I was done in like 3/4 of an hour. I was done. I really figure out why anyone would sit longer than an hour on exam, but that's also a part of me that should say, you know what, the average is a certain amount of a certain number, and they say, let's say the average is 2 hours. Some people finish it earlier, but they have to also keep in mind that some people uh, take longer. So that's actually a good thing that they take use that amount of time. But I don't know. So I should have painted in a new layer. I'm painting on the same layer as we painted before, but I actually should have started a new layer, because then we could have seen what we have done so far. So let's merge these two and just start a new one. So we can see from now on. I think we did quite a lot already. We changed the roof of this thingy. We did this a little bit better. We did this. We basically focused around the area that we need to focus on, namely the focal point, and that's good. I don't know if I do that intentionally. No, I know that I don't do it intentionally, because otherwise I would have known. I don't do it intentionally, but it's good to work on the focal point, because as the name suggests, that's where the focus lies. That's where you want the people to look. Thing is, I have this sort of roofy area thing here. I don't know. It's overgrown quite a bit. I think it's a little bit dark, a little bit too light here and there. They say dark, I don't know. Although some of the highlights can stay. I think I need to actually expand this green stuff over this thing a little bit more. So it's really overgrown, and not just this thing hanging down here. I mean, we got some stuff here, some moss, some, I don't know, some cool stuff. Probably can use something on the fences as well. Let's make the fence green fence. Be this post here as well. Flag is a little bit green. I don't know. This is gonna be a little bit darker, I guess. Back here. I don't know really what to do with this. So I'm just gonna try to sort of. I hadn't really planned this. I haven't designed it really properly last episode or last live stream. And now I need to figure out, do I want to design this, or what do I want to do with it? And yeah, it's coming together now a little bit better. Let's try not to complain too much. Initially, I wanted to sort of keep the rock there and sort of support the rock with these pillars and or beams or posts. But I think I want to have some more architecture down there as well. So maybe some some wood, stuff like that, so that it is a sort of a home. We did very little. See, this has really few brush strokes, but if you check the effect of those little brush strokes, that's actually quite a lot. I really like that about painting. I'm thinking about bringing in some textures um, to this painting. I got this nice little windmill here. I just googled for medieval stuff. I think I want to keep the. I don't know. I just want it for the planks and the wood and stuff like that. I don't really care about the colors or whatever. Just want the texture. Gonna grab that. Gonna delete that. Gonna see if we can use this somehow. If we flip this, I think we can sort of get it up there. I really like these the little stairs going there. So something like this. Wait a second. Close the window. But that doesn't really matter. I don't think so. Alright. So we don't want this to be too obvious. I think the soft light is probably our best bet. Or the hard light, but then that doesn't work. Soft light it is. Gonna see if we have some more this one is also really cool. This is a stock photo. It has some text, because it's copyrighted, which of course they should. But I'm not here for the photo and stuff like that. I'm just for the texture. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do this anymore. If I show this on stream, whether that's actually whether that's gonna get me in trouble or not. I don't know. Should figure that out. Really like this one. Copy it. I don't really like the mill one. Yeah, it had potential, but as you can see, I don't use a photo for the photo. I use it for the texture. So can't really see the original image anymore. I think in that case, it's probably okay, right? That's something I should really try to figure out whether it's okay to use photographs as textures. It probably is, but how far I can go and stuff like that. What I do like about the mill, where is it? It's that little staircase. I kind of want to have that for our building. Increase the image size. Select that thing. Just a little bit of it. We can select the surroundings as well. And then we can select the inverse. I'm gonna delete that. We don't need that. Gonna see if we can somehow use it. Darken is not too great. I think we have to go with dark light, although, or hard light, although I don't really like it. We could go with multiply maybe. Maybe lower the opacity a little bit. We could just say, you know what, it's sort of the framework is there now, and let's use that framework to actually get the stairs that we want there. So let's get rid of this screen a bit. I mean, it's okay that there is a bit of green, but I think it's a little bit too lush. We can be fairly rough here. It's okay. Really like the blue up top here now. Bluish shape. I kind of want to bring it down here as well, but maybe do it like this, like 2 thick. Something like this. So there's a little staircase there, and we probably need a door. If you have a staircase going anywhere, there's probably a door you can enter to the building, right? And here we sort of have these rocks. I think we want to light up this area a little bit. Not too much, but just a tiny bit. Soft brush. I don't think it should be this big. There we go. That's probably the, yeah, that's really good because now it's properly separated from the background. I think I need a hard brush for this. Sort of, yeah, so that it, yeah, has in the front here stays in the front. That's quite important. If all these lovely colors here now, we have the reds and the blues, and to try to sort of make sense out of those, and create some windows and stuff like that. Be a little bit large for a window. Can always make it smaller. Right. Want some highlights around it. Little window here as well. I want to keep the overall roughness sort of going. Maybe there's a little. This is a little crane here. Or let's let it hang here. The cord. A rope dangling down there. Sort of like that. Some ropes here. Stuff like that to sort of in that little bit of extra detail. Could go for a little bit of laundry, but that's a bit too cliche, I guess. You see those all the time in those paintings where you have the little flags and things like that. These details are just, I don't know, they kind of work always. They always work. There's these little bits of rope hanging and stuff hanging on the ropes. Whatever it may be. The fish that's drying there. Still not sure if I want people here or not. The problem is I'm really bad at drawing people, and that's something I want to learn. But because I'm so bad at it, I never really do it. That's also why I'm still so bad at it. Yeah, I have too many things that I want to change now, I guess. So we didn't spend too long on this one. I probably could spend a couple, an hour or two maybe on it, but I don't want it to be too neat. I want to keep it nice and rough. Can work on the jungle up top here. It's a little bit. Yeah, we need more overgrown stuff on this this area as well. So let's do that also. And we need to try to figure out where we want to put highlights. usually for the end, so let's try to keep that for the end. A couple more highlights. Pretty dark here. I think this green needs a little bit more surrounding green. It's just sitting there without really any text. Might be a little bit top, but we can do some green here. We still haven't finished this little staircase thingy. Sort of got distracted. And the surrounding sea can be a little bit lighter. Or a little bit too dark. I'm gonna expand this. I think this one is on a bit of a rocky area here. Expand the rock. Gonna increase the size of my brush a little bit, because it was a little bit too small. And then we will add some vegetation in the sort of sun spot as well. Little grassy bits. Actually, don't really do this, but I think it brings in a nice extra detail. Streaks of light. Oops. Bug there. Don't have to we don't want to overdo it though, so I think maybe we already overdid it a little bit. It's really something to be careful about. Let's do a background here. Like this. It's a little bit rough, but I think it works. What else do we want to do? I'm probably gonna merge all the layers now. That last bit of paint I think was it's good. Let's merge all these together. Start a new layer. We want to keep the layer count as low as possible, just for the performance increase. And I don't know. I like to work in without layers. Yeah, I like to work in a new layer on top of the existing one, so I can check the before and after. I like that because it allows me to see if it works the way I want it. And it's sometimes when you're sort of down on motivation or morale, just sort of check what you've sort of achieved so far. And sometimes when you're painting, you're not really seeing it because you're seeing the small changes each and every time, and don't see the big change over time. And when you turn off the layer, you suddenly see those big changes, and then you're like, "Ooh, I did a lot." When you're painting, it doesn't always feel like that. But that's why I like to keep a layer, just to be able to give yourself that boost when necessary. This building is fairly bright and has a nice amount of little highlights. I think I want to transfer a couple of those to this one here. I don't like this one here, up that big one there. Doesn't feel like it should have to highlight. This little building here, I think we need a little color on the roof. It hurts, so let's add the red roof. Bit. Go. Maybe some brighter colors on the wall. Be a little too much. Like that. Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's how I want it. I don't really know what I want to change about this. I'm not entirely happy with this whole area here. And maybe these little lights down here, they don't really fit the thing. So these are still remnants sort of the photographs that we started with. So I think we went to get rid of those. Draw in some unnecessary attention. Maybe I will add a little pond here. So this house is sort of floating on the pond. Okay, cool. Maybe like that. Because this is a rainforest, so it's or not necessarily a pond, but just a bunch of water. Um, let's try to make something out of it. I don't really like this vine going down there. It feels a little bit off. I'm gonna try to get rid of it, but I don't like it all the way going down all the way. It does right now. I don't necessarily have to clean it all away. Also, try and throw some stuff on the pillars. It feels a little bit more like it should be there instead of this forced in thingy. Does it really belong there right now? Really know what the function of this little thing here is. Maybe there's a staircase as well. Oh. Going sort of up the thing here, and then there's this little platform where you can talk and sit. Maybe that was the function of this little thing here. But it is overgrown quite a bit. Yeah, I like this better. Actual design to it. And the amount of leaves and plants can be reduced somewhat. Go. My layer at 100%. Yes, felt a little bit weird. I think that's an improvement. We can, for instance, now I changed that. I can now see whether I like that change or not. I can see that I like it. Yeah, I approve of that change. Anything else I want to do with this? Yeah, expand it a little bit. Here, the green stuff. But this is sort of not used. Well, the idea is that it is an abandoned town. That's why it's grown green. I wonder if I should change this green roof to a red one. Would fit the other roofs better. But I kind of like it the way it is. That I really like the color. I think I want to keep it this way. Yeah. Something I haven't done yet. Check the values. Maybe some more bright values down here. I haven't flipped the canvas, which is something we should definitely do every once in a while to check the perspective, because you can easily spot mistakes when you flip the canvas. There isn't too many interesting perspective going on here, so and I think it's quite alright. These buildings look a little bit thin. Maybe they could be a little bit wider, but they have to fit in a sort of quite a thin space. So I think I like it this way. There's also something I like to do. Where is it? Balance. There we go. Do we want to change the color balance or not? It's a lot of green. See, it's really green. If you put this at 0, is this green? If you add a little bit more blue, the green hue gets closed off a little bit. We can basically change this every way that we want. If you say we want it to be wet, a little bit cold maybe, like this. It's quite warm, the colors. I think I like that. I think I like the warm colors. It's always difficult to judge sort of the color balance. I think it's quite cool. Because when you start to change, you see sort of the flaws of your painting. Then when you're sort of just looking at this, you're like, oh, that's a cool painting. But when you're starting sort of changing the color balance a little bit around, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, you think, ooh, I used a lot of green. It has this green hue. But I don't want to change the overall color too much. So I think I'm just gonna go with a little bit of added blue so that the green hue is toned down a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna grab myself a coffee. In the meantime, I'm gonna think about what I want to change about this painting and what I want to add. It's really rough. But for some reason, I really like it this way. I really like it this rough. I don't want to change too much about it. But we'll see. Maybe we can do a little bit about the grass and stuff like that. Blend that together a little bit better. It's a little bit rough now. Yeah, that's probably something that I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna take a short break, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. Be right back. I'm back. I got myself a coffee. So the next couple of minutes, I'm just gonna spend rambling, drinking my coffee, um, try to paint, try to figure out what to change. I still think where I drew the sort of the little staircase in the left of the middle. That's still the weakest part of the painting. I think. I don't really know what to do with it. But there's something that just occurred to me. I thought the buildings were a little bit thin. In the middle. I thought, you know what? I have this pillar. I just figured it out just like 3 seconds ago. What if we just do it like this? Um, does that help? Merged all the layers, so I didn't paint on a layer. I can't check the difference. But I think it helps. Let's learn from that little error and create a new layer. There's little detail in this thing here. Which is probably something I should change right now. It's fairly dark, maybe a little bit too dark, currently. Let's add a little door. It's a little bit too bright. That bright. Add a little door with a thing over top. For windows. Looks a bit like a skull now, like a face with a big mouth. Which may be cool. Could try to sort of emphasize that. Emphasize. Wow. To sort of tears down from the eyes. Streaks of algae and moss and stuff like that. Not sure if it works, but sounds good. Let's keep it like that. Dora is a little off center, but that's okay. We could sort of add a little window, so it's okay that it is off center. So not sure if that's really an improvement, but yeah, the final thing that I'm gonna do is gonna try to sort of merge the grass here a little bit with everything. Blend it a little bit better together. Currently is, and Yeah. Maybe added that. It's a little bit. And I think we're not gonna continue for too long anymore. Um, I think we're gonna call it. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day. A little over an hour. Still need to figure out something with that. I don't know. Let's just go in there and see if we can make something out of it. Why is my thing at? Let's put it at city. Um, that there's a lot of rubble. This is a little. Let's add some reds to it. It is actually a little roof, and then there is a area in front of the. And maybe the stairs go up here again, so you land on this little platform here, and then there is another staircase going up to this. You can sort of watch over the town. Then there is this roof, and maybe the staircase continues. To here, and then later here. Still, it's not really entirely clear how it all fits together. It's partly, oh no, not partly. It's entirely my fault because I created this painting. So if something is not clear, it's my fault. I'm not sure how to fix it. Go. Let's check the progress, and yeah, it feels a little bit more built now instead of just rocks. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at this. I might work on it a little bit more off stream before I do the time lapse. Well, I won't record that for the time lapse, but I will do that just in my own time. And the end result will be posted as usual at the end of the time lapse. And yeah, probably Friday a new stream, I think. I'm not sure what we're gonna do yet. Since usually we do one painting a week, but this one was spread out over 2 weeks, 2 streams in 2 weeks, while usually we do 2 or 3 in 1 week. So this one was a little bit late, so to say. So yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna pan out. Maybe we'll just try some random stuff. I don't know, just a lot of sketching, scribbling. I'd like to do that one stream each week, just to sketch, make thumbnails, just make random stuff. Not really a certain theme or anything. I'd like that, just sketching and rambling, just sort of a relaxing couple of hours. So that's maybe a plan for the coming to Friday or something like that. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I think it's a really cool piece. Of course, there can be a lot more detail, but I like the roughness of it. All right, thanks. Talking is difficult. Thanks for watching, and to see you in the next one.